Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good.
It's great. Yeah? Cool. What are we going to be sharing with everybody today?
So, one of the main questions that we get when people come into the office is, how am I supposed to stand? How am I supposed to sit? And the reality is, a lot of us don't learn this. Our mother might be like, sit up straight or don't slouch. And we're like, no. And we don't realize that it actually is important, right? And this goes for driving the car. It goes for sitting at your computer. It goes for just standing around while we're talking, right? And there's a couple of things. Number one is, I'm going to talk a little bit about a postural plank. It's the perfect postural plank.
The
PP. And with that, there's a couple of cues that we're going to go through to help you guys remember and do this on your own. But if you have any questions about it, just ask me and I'll help you do it in the bay. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody kind of poke and push in specific areas to help you realize how you're supposed to do this, because it does seem a little complicated. But the simple thing that I tell most patients when they ask is simply, if you're sitting or standing, is if you were to be raised up by a string at the very crown of your head at all points in time, how would you stand, right? And so most people, you're sitting like this, and as you do it, even when you're standing or sitting, you'll notice that your belly kind of pushes a little bit forward, your hips will tend to move forward, your shoulders will move back, and your head will move over your shoulders. And guess what? That's all of the things that we want you to be doing. You also naturally tend to go back over your heels a little bit as well, driving those to the ground. Now, the reason why we talk about that is it's actually one of the cues that we'll be going over here in a minute. But why do this, right? Number one, we talk about this a lot, right? Gravity. We don't escape.
Gravity's our best friend.
It pushes
Never
down
takes a day off.
every day.
Yeah.
9.8 meters per second. With that, we see lots of discompression in the neck, into the shoulders, and then when we have constant kind of, people will say, I have a pinch in between my shoulders and my scapula, the shoulder blades. It's like, right here, doc, it's right here.
Yep.
And almost every single time, what you'll see is the shoulders will be back. I don't know, can you see that? The scapula back?
Yeah,
not really?
It's hard to see for you because your back's so awesome and perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, that's right. But with that, your spine is supposed to be back
this way.
from your shoulder blades.
So you're talking about like shoulder blades hunching out.
Yep, and so we have this little divot running through, and that's because your paraspinal muscles, the muscles that run along the spine, stop doing that probably hurts. And what we want to do is help push that spine back by strengthening those muscles. So you almost look like a werewolf or a human turning into a werewolf or something like that.
So this is common when you have too much of a flattening in the blue region of the spine, the thoracic ribs area. The thoracic spine flattens, and what Dr. John's describing with this exercise with the perfect postural plank is it's going to help to actually create a little bit more of that natural contoured curve that you're supposed to have in the middle part of the back.
And where does that put pressure on, right? Your discs originally, instead of putting it on those facet joints, those bone-on-bone articulations that we talk about with you on your first day, and I probably talked too much about it during the bays, but with that said, we are putting all of the pressure back onto the structurally sound part of your spine.
Yep.
Now, same thing in the low back. It helps when your curve has diminished, it's too straight. And what does again that do? Puts the pressure on the discs, which in turn puts pressure on those nerves and signals down the legs, numbness, tingling, or radiation, right? And as we bring that spine back and we start to, your second cue is going to be rotating the hips forward. It creates that curve, so again, we put pressure on those facet joints. Overall, I think there's like 12 different cues that you have to learn. We're just gonna do 4, because as you even do those 4, you realize this is a lot to think about in any specific time. And you wanna try and hold it for about a minute when you really get it under control.
So start with 30 seconds.
Oh,
and
not
try and
even.
Work your tolerance up.
I mean, honestly, you'll probably get to do 10 seconds when you're getting it all right, because you're thinking about 4 different things.
Like learning to re-walk.
Well, and it's actually it's called a DNS protocol, which is training your muscle groups to fire in the correct sequences. And this is one of the basic maneuvers for them. This is one of the main reasons why we're doing this postural plank. You can see right here, his scapula are here, and his back is pushed down, okay? So what we're doing here, one of the reasons is we have that pinching in that mid-back, mid-upper back. We got some low back pain, pelvic tilt, or we have discompression in the neck. Reality is most everybody has one of those things, as we are humans on planet Earth. So what we want to focus on is you're going to have your lower half of your body touching the table. Then you want your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And the cues are, so head being pulled off of the body, and then you're going to push up with a cat back right here. Good. Now push, 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 push. There you go. Those shoulders go wide automatically. That's another cue, but I usually leave that out. So pushing right here, breathe through the tummy. And then he's gonna pull his hips against me you want the anterior part of your, anterior superior iliac spine, the bony part at the very front of your hip, to try and touch the table, okay? You breathe in, push right here, push up, don't drop, don't drop. Good, and this is why it's kind of nice for me to be here while you're first doing this to learn, because it's not easy to do. And look at this dude. The reason why is because these muscles in our body are weak. And that's why our posture sucks. And how long does it take to create a habit, which your cerebellum controls your posture? It's a habitual thing. You don't think about it, right? 30 days. 30 days. If you do this for 30 days, your posture will change, okay? We want to try and hold, okay, just relax. We just had you hold that for a long time. Sorry. Yeah, huh? I can handle it. But with that, you want to start doing this by starting as long as you can if you have those cues in mind, okay? Doing this not correctly is it's worthless, right? So the key is doing this perfectly for as long as you can. All right. Now, the 4 cues, I actually didn't do the last one there on that time, are again, the head being pulled up by a string, the cat back, so push up right here, good. Rotating the hips forward and clenching the bottom, good. Okay, now with that, the other important thing to do in this is correct breathing. I was in band, and the way that they taught us to do that is we would lay on our back, we would take a glass of water, we would put it on our chest and fill it to the brim. Okay, I was in like 6th grade when we were doing this, and you're super nervous because you don't want to have a wet t-shirt. Now, you're laying on your back and you had to take in a full deep breath without spilling the water. Reality is if you breathe in through your chest, you're going to spill that water. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. Your diaphragm sits about right here, but when you breathe in, it drops down. Why? Because your lungs are really, really small, and then they get really big when they fill up with air, right? So as it pushes down, it moves the tummy. So what you want to think about is breathing through your stomach, not your chest. Your chest should be the last thing that moves in a deep breath, all right? So when you're breathing in, think about literally pushing your tummy out. And then you see at the very end, my chest comes up and out, all right? And so that right there alone during this exercise, number one, it's gonna teach you to breathe correctly. It allows you to get more oxygen, it allows you to get deeper breaths, which go all the way down into the base of your alveolar sacs in your lungs, okay? You're gonna get better breath, more oxygen, you're gonna have clearer thought, better sleep, less stress. All of those are great, right? We all need that in life. Now, the other thing is it helps that low back stay forward, okay? When you're breathing in through your chest, it's gonna mess up the upper part of the back, all right? So good diaphragmatic breathing is very important. So we're gonna show you one more time what we need you to be doing. So correct, lining up, shoulders, good. So the head is coming directly off the shoulders. Push up right here, good, 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 good. Shoulders are wide. See how it's nice and smooth right there? There's no divot. Pulling the hips down against me, good, and I'm pulling hard. He is pushing down, okay? Clench the bottom and hold. Breathe through the belly. Push out here, good. Nice, big, deep breaths. Hold it all, good, good. And guys, this will make you tired, okay? You will be sore. Why? Because again, these are muscles that we have not been using, and you can relax, sorry.
10 seconds, yeah. A long time.
Dude, it's, I mean, yeah. And so at this point, I can do about a minute and a half straight. And again, that makes me sore. Why? Because this is a workout, okay? We are working out these muscles that have been weakened so that our body can hold structurally sound. We take pressures out of our discs so our nervous system functions and you live your best life. Sound good? Awesome. Thanks for coming in, guys. We'll see you in the adjustment bay.